Well, hello. Good morning. It is 8:45 on Wednesday. It's great to be backstage of the Giving Back podcast, episode 261, Insights number 94. A glimpse of my future. That's what's in store for today. It was a great trip. It's really awesome to be back. It was great to reconnect with people. After only 2 weeks, you'd think it's no big deal. But, when you come back and you have a chance to reconnect with your loved ones and people who are making a difference in your life, it's mighty, mighty fine. So let's take it in 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome back to myself. It's great to be back. I hope you enjoyed Tony and Jia's talks. I found their stories to be touching and insightful, and I hope you found something both useful and joyful in their presentations for the last couple of weeks. A picture of my beautiful wife in Saint Maarten is on the cover of today's show. We were on vacation, and we had a wonderful time in the Southern Caribbean islands. I found that the time in a different environment was helpful for me to see things with a different perspective. It may be that opening up or seeing things with fresh eyes is probably a better description than a different perspective, because they're all inside. For one, seeing the difference between lifestyles from the U.S. to the islands, wow, it's a huge, huge difference. And it's not just about material abundance or lack of resource. It's also about accepting a lifestyle that's dramatically different from my own as being absolutely normal. That's a big touching point, because oftentimes what I've heard from our guest is that, we wanted to do this and we put this into place. And with those great intentions, forgetting about meeting the needs of the people who are there and listening to them and meeting people where they're at, right? That's a key point. Understanding that there's differences, and those differences aren't necessarily bad. In fact, they can be really, really good. A lesson for us in terms of what we need and what's truly important. A second eye-opening situation is to see the effects of Hurricane Maria. We flew into San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we literally flew over miles of shanty towns, right? Looked like corrugated roofs just thrown up. It was devastating. Where we were in Old San Juan, it was absolutely gorgeous for a number of reasons. There wasn't really a lot of damage, and my understanding from talking to the people in the town is that because the streets are so narrow, there was less of an impact, and it just had less time to pick back up. And of course, it's buttressed. There's an entire, literally a fort that was built around there. But I'll tell you what, in some areas, it was just clearly devastating. The rainforest won, as well as towns outside. September 18th was the 1-year anniversary, and we were on the island of Dominica. And it's beautiful, resilient people, bent but unbroken, proud of their islands and ready to reclaim a bright future. And it was really, really hard to see what had happened there. And in 1 year, a third piece of wonder, real wonder, comes back to the people that I met. I'm a traveler, and I'm also an obvious tourist. I can't help it, right? That's what I look like. I was basically a mule on this trip. I was carrying around this bright pink backpack full of stuff for the day. My wife is Swiss, and if you know anything about Swiss, particularly the Swiss Germans, they like to be prepared. So I had basically everything that we needed on my back, and it was pretty clear I wasn't from there. So I wonder where the winds of my interest or recommendations take me, and I often encounter all eyes in a room where I go on me. And sometimes they're unsmiling, right? And it was intimidating on more than one occasion. And I found that when I stopped focusing on the uncertainty in my head and focused on speaking a single point of truth that I believe we shared, it made a huge difference. And what I said that worked on every single situation was really, really simple and true. I simply told them, you have a beautiful island. And that sparked the conversation. And it melted any type of, I don't know. it warmed up the situation. I think I would just say that mostly it just really warmed up the situation completely and opened for conversations and sharing, which was fantastic. Mostly this trip was about reconnecting. After all, in a few years, this will be our lives as empty nesters. And as sad as I am in some ways, I'm so excited for our kids, and I'm also excited for us. I did feel a little bit like the dog who caught the car, right? I've been asking Ursula to take a trip with me for more than a day for a while. And all of a sudden we had it, and to be honest, I was a little bit nervous. So there was conversation and laughter, and there were awkward pauses and all of that. And what a great time with a wonderful partner she is. Learning to embrace her plans, however different from mine, right? And get so much joy in sharing a totally different experience than I would have chosen. That was a huge, huge win. It was a great, great experience. In the end, just as the saying goes, travel changes us. I personally think travel allows us, in the best of circumstances, to stop thinking about ourselves and focus on the world and the people around us. Counting our blessings, enjoy the presence of our companions, and truly revel in the joy of discovery. So a couple of things that I found when I walked away and during what I was thinking, some of this reframing how I perceive things, reframing how I process things. For Ursula, this will be our life together, knock on wood. How can I better listen to her? Like, really, truly listen to her with all of my ears, all of my mind, all of my heart, paying full attention. That's going to be a that's an opportunity for me to do that better and be the best I can for her. For my kids, Carson, Tyler, and Rachel, how can I best support each of them wherever they are in the moment, right? And I mean, not just in terms of they're in high school, one's in college, one takes a job. I even mean on a daily basis. Where are they at the time? Are they having a hard time with a test? Are they having a great time with a sporting event? How are they with a project? What do they need? How can I support them? For my mom, who also travels an awful lot, I think about treasuring our time together in ways that are meaningful to her. How can I do that? When I do that, I will be the best son that I can be for her. And for my brother Tom, who I've recently, talk about reconnecting, who I've recently reconnected with, to always remember that my role is to love him, not save him. So that's a little bit of the reframing and what I come away with. And I'd be really interested to find out from you, each of you, how travel has changed you. What are some big incidents or big revelations that you've had, or maybe none at all? And that's also very cool. So coming up in the next couple of weeks, we will have some really cool discussions. We have George Madu coming up, giving us an update on business for vets. That's going to be great. He has taken up a challenge, not my challenge, but his challenge in terms of holding himself accountable for his intentions and seeing what happens from startup over the course of a year and checking in every quarter just to see how he's doing, what lessons he's learned, and what he can share. And then also, when I came back, I had an incredible opportunity afforded to me by my good friend Ron Klobundy. We had a webinar with Bob Berg, who many people know as one of the authors, the co-author of The Go-Giver, which has just been a phenomenal success. And more than a success in terms of sales, in terms of the impact that it's had on people thinking about how to do business, and not just about business, but reshaping their lives. So thank you very much again for joining me. It's been a great, great trip. It's wonderful to be back. Remember, always err on the side of loving kindness. Until the next time, love and gratitude. Hey, so everybody, thank you so much for joining me. It was just an awesome trip. It's great to be back. I felt a little bit nervous coming back, believe it or not, after just 2 weeks, and that's very cool. Want to be fresh, want to be alive, want to keep it real. Peace out, aloha, much mahalo. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.